My name is Louise Grubb. I'm from Waterford, where I started up a business about 9 years ago called NutriScience. But as you can imagine, the veterinary market in Ireland is very small. Every market in Ireland is very small. You're talking about 5 million people, whereas when we looked immediately, we had to look at the European market, which is 500 million people, and to see how we could gain access to that market very quickly. We developed our business plan the same way as anyone does. Like, we have these products, we want to sell them. We want to sell them to the veterinary market. Okay, we have Ireland. Right, then let's look at some other European countries that would be attractive to us. It's really the same model throughout Europe, if you like. In a simple term, we sell our products to a distributor who has a sales team that sells directly to the vets. That's the very same model throughout Europe, so that whether we're selling in Scandinavia, for example, Denmark is a really big market for us, we would be selling through the same type of structure. So there's a certain comfort factor in that you know the type of distributor that you're looking for. So we have an ISO quality standard and an EU accredited standard that's issued to us by the Department of Agriculture here. But that's accepted Europe-wide. So again, that's dealt with. We don't have to go to each country and each market and say, look, we need to register, we need to do this, we need to do that. There'll be a certain amount of registration locally, but by and large, we know what the rules are because the rules are set by the EU. It would be a huge cost, and it would probably be prohibitive for a small company to try and go to so many markets if we didn't have some sort of standardization of the packaging, the labels, etc. For any small company who wants to grow, employ more people, develop, we have to be able to have access to more markets in the most cost-effective way possible. And the other thing that Europe has done, we're all aware of all the currency and the currency scares, but working with the euro reduces or removes a lot of the worries we have over pricing things in France or pricing things in Germany and thinking, well, how much would we actually get? If you've ever tried to sell anything into the US, there are so many barriers to trade. It's, from tiny little things that can halt your product in Buffalo, New York, where you just can't get it in and you've been selling in for the past couple of years. Whereas in Europe, at least those barriers don't exist. We can trade in. I can trade my product as long as it has a certain quality standard. I have access to all those markets. So the access, both logistically, from a legislative point of view, and commercially, is far easier into the EU. And we should look, I think everyone should look at the EU as being much more accessible than maybe they think it is. We think, when we think of trade, of going to the UK, we think of going on holidays to Spain and Portugal. We need to be looking at, all of those markets as access, and ultimately bringing, more wealth and more jobs into the Irish economy.